Good afternoon and welcome to day 4 of the UCI Junior Track Cycling World Championships, coming to you live on the UCI stream from Aigle in Switzerland at the World Cycling Centre. And we're just about to get underway with competition, the second session of this penultimate day of the Junior Worlds. Looking down on the track centre, the stats, if you're not caught up with them over previous days: the length of the track 200 metres, Siberian pine the construction, temperature in the track centre, a very consistent 28 degrees. That may just be our caption though. The bend inclination 46.7 degrees at its highest point. So the riders will be taking the start in the women's sprint semi-finals. Welcome to the first event on the track in just a few moments' time. If you're not caught up with how the women's sprint competition is contested, well, here's some video to explain it for you.
The sprint is a classic short-distance event in which two riders cover 3 laps of the track. Qualification consists of flying start 200 metres time trial. The time trial is followed by knockout heats, fastest versus slowest. From the quarter-finals, the riders race best of 3 heats. Sprint racing is all about the tactics. Riders will sometimes come to a standstill in an effort to make their opponent take the lead, which is the least advantageous position before the final sprint to the finish.
So that is the compact guide to sprinting for you, and the riders will be coming onto the track side very shortly to contest the best of 3 in the women's sprint semi-finals. Competition which began here yesterday, of course the qualification round, and throughout. Now we're down to 4 riders remaining to give us our eventual gold medalists. You can see them drawing for the starting position in semi-final heat number 1. Riders involved here: Yufang Guo of China in the yellow and red, and her opponent representing the Netherlands, Hetty van der Wouw. Match sprinting this one, so 3 possible matches. If one rider wins each, then it will go to a decider. 2 victories though, and you're through to the final. Van der Wouw in the orange, white and black of the Netherlands, following her Chinese opponent up the steps onto the track. This track centre here in Aigle is sunk down below the level of the competition surface, as are many velodromes around the world these days, although 1 or 2, such as the Manchester Velodrome in Great Britain, has the track centre on the same level as the racing surface. So the riders are ascending the steps to get onto their bikes, which are already held at trackside by their assistants. See our numerous photographers and cameramen getting in position as well. We've had some great viewing figures for our live stream over the past 3 days. If you have been a loyal viewer, thank you indeed for your company and your kind comments. We're glad you're enjoying it. Of course, we've got live coverage this evening and tomorrow for the final session of action, beginning earlier tomorrow, so don't forget to join us at 1:45 for day 5. But our focus is very much on day 4 here this evening, and the women's sprint semi-final, heat 1, match 1 comes to the line, and you saw that drawing process taking place, and the result of it was that Guo of China has drawn the inside position. Just lifting her hand there to indicate to her holder that she'd like to be held a little more to the left. Away we go. Starter blows the whistle, and Guo leads away. Now, the reason they do that draw is for the rider who will start at the bottom of the track. They're obliged to lead away unless her opponent decides to go past her, which is completely at liberty to do. And the advantage of being in position 2 on the track is that you can watch your opponent just by riding along and looking at her back wheel, whereas the rider at the front, well, she has to keep looking over her shoulder. So the element of surprise is on the side of the rider in second position, hence the reason they draw for those starting positions. But now they're starting to lift the pace here. Both riding high at the moment. Guo in the lower position, and now Van der Wouw of the Netherlands draws level. Guo is inside that red sprinter's line briefly when the sprint is launched towards the final 200 metres. Then the rider who's inside that red line Her opponent needs to go around the outside. You can't go underneath when your opponent is inside that red line. And Wow has got the work to do here to come past Guo on the line. She won't do it. So it is victory in match number 1 for Yufang Guo of China. Already been on the podium here for the time trial, and the team sprint took a silver in the time trial and a bronze in the team sprint. So she's looking to convert her medal tally to include a gold medal, which she can come out winner of these semi-finals and go through to the finals, which of course will be contested a little bit later this evening. Semi-final heat number 2 will be Pauline Grabosch of Germany versus Emma Cumming of New Zealand. Cumming, part of the gold medal winning team sprint squad on day 1 here of these championships. And Grabosch also with her fair share of victories already, winning the time trial. And she was second in the sprint at the World Championships last year, silver medalist on that occasion in Astana in Kazakhstan. So the result of the draw here has placed Grabosch on the inside and Cumming on the outside. Both riders in very familiar colours, the black and white of New Zealand, and Grabosch in the white with the yellow, black and red stripes of Germany. So this is the second heat. Again, it's always good to get victory in the bag for the second encounter. Pressure then is very firmly on your opponent to force it to a deciding match 3. Grabosch, we know, has a great turn of pace, winning that 500-metre time trial competition a couple of nights ago. And she also has the sprint tactics as well, taking that silver medal 12 months ago. Her opponent, Emma Cumming, part of that gold medal winning team sprint squad. Cumming dives underneath here. Grabosch had left the door open. Cumming takes advantage. So it's New Zealand with the lead position as they go down the back straight. Now Grabosch needs to come back at her here. Cumming snuck the surprise move underneath, and she has taken it all the way to the line. So Cumming takes victory in match number 1 with a very astute move. She saw the door was open, the sprinter's lane was available, and she said, "Thank you very much, I'm having that." Went underneath her opponent, and with it took victory in match number 1. Just another look at that. Grabosch is riding high. Cumming says, "Right, I'm going underneath you." And there was space to do it. She did actually go off the track a little bit there as she dived down. So our commissaires might just take a look at that, but I don't think it affected the outcome of the race. Grabosch was beaten both by the surprise move and the speed of Emma Cumming of New Zealand. 11.982 for the closing 200 metres. Next up, we have a completely different event for you. The first time we have seen Madison racing so far in these championships, and it will be an exhibition event. There is no championship for women's Madison thus far, but hopefully after this one, there will be. So let us explain for you in as simple terms as we can manage how the Madison competition takes place on the track.
The Madison is a team event. Each team is made up of 2 riders. The riders propel each other forward as they meet between laps. Teams sprint every 20 laps to accumulate points according to the following point structure. 5 points to the first team, 3 points to the second team, the third team get 2 points, and 1 point to the fourth team. Final standings are decided by laps or the distance completed, and then by total points won. If there is a draw with laps completed and points earned, the places in the final sprint shall decide the winner.
The Madison race then, a race that has its roots in Madison Square Garden in America, hence the name. Also known by the name of l'Américaine for obvious reasons. And as I mentioned in the introduction, we don't currently have a women's Madison Junior World Championship competition. There is one for the men, but there is no reason in the world why the women should not compete at the Madison as well. This is an exhibition event. There'll be no medal or jerseys at the end of it, but hopefully it will see the women's Madison become part of the Junior World Championships proper next year. So we have 10 teams scheduled to take the start. Australia field 2 teams. We also have the Czech Republic, France, Kazakhstan, Poland, Russia, Ukraine, and Great Britain also have 2 teams in the race. Each team carries a number of the team rather than the rider. So one rider has a black number, the other will have a red number. And just to run down the start list for you, so you can pick your favourites on the track. Australia 1 features Jade Haynes and Ruby Roseman Gannon. Haynes with the black number and Roseman Gannon with the red. Similar order for the rest of the teams. Nicola McDonald and Christina Clonan are Team 2 for Australia. Barbara Drengova and Emma Ketkakasova of the Czech Republic are Team 3. Pauline Clouard and Valentine Fortin are Team 4 for France. The first of the 2 Great Britain teams feature Lauren Dolan and Jenny Hull, Team 5, and Team 6 are Great Britain Team 2, Jessica Roberts, and last night's scratch race champion Rebecca Raybould. Team 7 represent Kazakhstan with Veronika Mukzina and Renata Akhmeta. Team 8 are Poland, Karolina Lipejko and Claudia Seramak. Team 9, Russia, Alexandra Shadira and Sofia Chakova. And then finally, Team 10 are the Ukraine, Julia Berkikova and Diana Halyek. So those are the riders who take to the track. The lap distance is 100 laps. As you saw in our introduction sequence, there's a sprint every 20 laps in the Madison for points. Same points tally as in the point race, 5, 3, 2 and 1. But the key difference, apart of course from the obvious, where there are 2 riders on the track representing a team rather than 1 in a point race, is that laps take precedence here. There are no points awarded for a lap gain. It is the team who are on the lead lap at the end of the race who will be the winners. If more than 1 team are on the lead lap, then it's that point when the tally of point scores from the sprints come into play. So hopefully that all makes sense with the video and my attempt to also to describe it to you. There's our starter, the gun raised, so the Madison is underway, the exhibition event here. First time on the Junior Worlds track for a women's Madison. Now the thing to look out for is the change between the riders. At any one time, one member of the team is racing at the bottom of the track and her teammate is resting above the stayers line. That's the blue line on the track. When her teammate comes round, the rider who's resting will drop down and they will, by means of a hand sling, propel the other rider into the action, and the rider who has just been relieved of making the pace will have her turn to rest above that line. It's all pretty fast and furious. You need to keep your eye very, very carefully on the head of the race, which currently is with the Czech Republic. You can see the Czech team there, just making their change. So spatial awareness is a key feature of Madison rider. Needing to know where your teammate is and needing to know where the other riders are around you as well, particularly when you go up to make that changeover. Riders and teams will be penalised if an incorrect change is made. And should the team come to grief and one member is involved in a crash or a mechanical incident, then the team can continue. The other rider will have to stay in the race until such time as a teammate can return within a fixed number of laps. If that's not possible, then the team unfortunately will be out of the race. So 95 laps still to go. Remember, 20 laps is at the point at which the sprint happens, so 80 will be the first of the sprints. Great Britain at the front currently. Team 5, that's Lauren Dolan and Jenny Hull. Lauren Dolan, a member of the bronze medal winning Team Pursuit squad from the European Championships in Montichiari just a little while ago. Swings her teammate into the fray. Australia also well positioned at the head of the race. You see the Polish rider here with her arm outstretched to launch her teammate into the action. Australia and Great Britain at Team 1 are the head of the race currently, with Poland third wheel, followed by the Czech Republic. 9 laps completed so far. Team 7, Kazakhstan, just bringing up the rear at this stage in the race. Of course, as well as gaining laps at the front of the action, teams can also lose laps if they go off the back. So it's a whole system of checks and balances for the race officials to keep across all of the action, particularly on a shorter track like this one. But of course, the Madison race is one of the mainstays of six-day racing across Europe, which happens during the European winter months. And that tends to take place on tracks even shorter than this one. 60 metres, something of that order. So, shorter the track, the more exciting the Madison race, but the more you have to have your eyes really well attuned to what's going on. 87 laps to go. First serious attacking move here at the head of the race. One rider gaining a small advantage. Just about to make the change. That is Great Britain Team 2. If you want to identify them, they've got the darker blue jerseys. That's Jess Roberts. And a rider with a problem there has come down, one of the Kazakhstan riders on corner 1. Well, as I mentioned, if that happens, the other rider continues in the race. And Kazakhstan with the back markers and remains so. Well, 2 riders actually caught up in that. It was one of the riders of the Czech Republic team also involved in that crash. 84 to go, 4 away from the first sprint. The head of the race, it's still Great Britain Team 2 with Jess Roberts and Rebecca Raybold. Rebecca Raybold, of course, celebrating a super victory in the women's scratch race here last night. And Jess Roberts, well, both these riders actually were members of the bronze medal winning Team Pursuit squad from the Europeans in Montichiari just a week or so ago. Jess Roberts had a great round of the Pearl Zimmy Tour Series racing in Great Britain just a few months ago when she won the final round of the Matrix Fitness Women's Grand Prix in Portsmouth. Seeing an attacking move from France now. At the bell, this is the first opportunity to pick up points. French rider is the head of the race. They're just about to catch up with the Kazakhstan team who've suffered that misfortune earlier. But it's 5 for France, 3 for GB1, and 2, I think, for GB2. Just ahead of Australia. We'll wait for that result to be confirmed on our results system. .79 to go. Head of the race is the group headed by the Australians. Kazakhstan are back up there now, but of course they've fallen a lap behind the leaders. So Australia, Great Britain 1, Great Britain 2, and France in between them. As the current position is 77 to go. So France with 5 points, GB1 with 3, GB2 with 2, Australia with 1. That's the outcome of sprint number 1. Next sprint will come up with 60 laps on the lap board, currently 76 laps remaining in this 100 lap, 20-kilometre Madison. And if you're confused by the distances, you've maybe just joined us here on our live stream from Switzerland. Let me just remind you, this is a 200-metre track as opposed to the more conventional 250-metre track. So a kilometre takes 5 laps on this track. So a little bit of a regrouping now in the main field after those attacks in anticipation of the first of the sprints. Head of the race is France, followed by Australia. Again, a bit of a fragmentation here. 1 or 2 teams suffering at the back. Poland and the team of Ukraine in particular under threat here from the leaders. Czech Republic and Kazakhstan already 1 lap behind. And more riders will lose laps as the leaders pass them by. And once the race becomes so fragmented, well, it really is then down to the race officials to decide if a team is gaining a lap as opposed to losing it. Of course, those riders going off the front of the race. But it's at what point they catch what will be perceived as the largest group on the track when a lap game will be deemed to have happened. Australia 2 in the dark blue, up there with Australia 1. GB1 and France coming around the outside. 70 laps to go, 10 away from sprint number 2. And that on the front at the moment is Jenny Hall of Great Britain 1. France just behind with Valentine Fortin. Team in third spot are Australia 2, followed by Australia 1. Australia 2 in a dark blue and white outfit. You're trying to pick them out. So again, a little bit of a regrouping, but more teams going a lap behind. Poland and Ukraine, as we mentioned, were about to be lapped, and they have now been lapped by the leading group. So the teams who remain on the lead lap are France, Great Britain 1 and 2, Australia 1 and 2, and Russia. Everyone else at -1 lap. 67 to go, 7 away from the second sprint. And in the points competition, well, France lead Great Britain 1, who in turn are ahead of Great Britain 2 and Australia 1. Just looking down at the rider, the red number of Australia 1, that's Ruby Roseman-Gannon, being followed by Christina Clonan of Australia 2. Great Britain are there as well for Team 1 of Great Britain. Second wheel currently for GB1, that's Jenny Hall. A little bit of a lull in the pace, which has allowed one or two of those riders who'd fallen behind to regain the rear of that leading group. And the leading group are in the finishing straight with 63 laps to go. Australia 1 just beginning to pick up the pace. Anticipating the sprint is just 3 laps away, 600 metres. And Roseman-Gannon just looking out for her teammate, who will be charged with the responsibility of bringing the team across the line in the sprint. So Roseman-Gannon throws Haynes into the chase. And a little bit of a gap at the front as Australia 1 and Australia 2 go on the attack. Nicola McDonald and Jade Haynes trying to make this a 1-2 for the Aussies. 1 lap away from sprint number 2. Furious chase from Great Britain 1. But as we come towards the line, it'll be Australia 1 ahead of Australia 2. Great Britain 1 third. And it looked as though Poland were across the line in 4th place there. Poland, of course, already 1 lap behind the leaders. Just waiting for confirmation of that result. So the head of the race are the 3 riders just coming into the finishing straight. There's confirmation of that sprint. Australia 1 ahead of Australia 2, Great Britain 1, and it was indeed Poland in 4th spot. But of course they are a lap behind. Still have a point though, so they lead those teams who are 1 lap in arrears. Those laps take precedence over points. 57 to go. Australia 1 and 2 still are the head of the race as they come into the finishing straight once more. This time it's Ruby Roseman-Gannon and Christina Clonan. Australia 2 just about to make their change. Nicola McDonald back into the fray, retaining the lead position. And it looks as though Ukraine are in danger of losing another lap. Czech Republic and Kazakhstan also under threat, as are the team of Russia. So it's Australia, Great Britain are dominating the action at the front of the race. Both teams with both the riders from each team represented towards the front of affairs. The 53 laps still on the lap board, so not yet at the halfway point. France go on the attack once more, along with Australia 2. Leading riders once more into the finishing straight. Australia 2, Australia 1, Great Britain 1, followed now by the Czech Republic. Well, teams literally are all over the track now. There are 4 teams in the leading group currently. Kazakhstan have latched onto the back of that, though there are a couple of laps behind. In fact, Czech Republic, Kazakhstan and Ukraine now have lost a further lap, so that puts them at -2. Poland at -1, and with 1 point from the most recent sprint. Great Britain, Team 1, once again at the head of the race with Jenny Hull, that red number on her back. She's just swung her teammate Lauren Dolan into the action. Dolan was also a member of that European Team Pursuit bronze medal squad. Seven away from the next sprint. Head of the race still Australia 2, Australia 1 and Great Britain 1. The Ukrainians just missed the change there. They'll have another go. Oh, missed it second time. Well, just take a lot of practice. You're not riding Madison's particularly often. The changing is more technical aspects. The Australia 1 showing how it should be done. There has to be physical contact between the riders. The hand-sling is the most common way of doing it. Of course, it also assists the rider entering the race to pick up speed more rapidly, using the momentum of her partner to propel her forwards. Hard work on the shoulders, though. That's the Australia Team 2, also making the change. So it's Australia 1, Australia 2, and then Great Britain 1. Ukrainians still in there. Having another go at making a change. This time they do succeed in doing so. So it's Julia Burkikova of Ukraine who was into the action, but they are 2 laps behind the other 3 teams they're with in that leading group of 4. Australia 1, Australia 2, Great Britain 1, and the Ukrainians a lap down. They're still to pick up points, though, which will improve their position ahead of the other teams who are laps in arrears. So this is the 40 lap to go sprint. Again, Australia 1, Australia 2, Great Britain picking up the points at the first 3 positions. And as long as these 3 teams who are really challenging for this competition remain on the same lap, then the points will be the critical factor at the end of the race. This was confirmed the result of that sprint. Points table will be updated on our screens here in the venue. Meanwhile, Kazakhstan lose a further lap. So too Ukraine and the Czech Republic. Poland and Russia are also at 2 laps and 1 lap respectively. So Australia 1, Australia 2, Great Britain, Ukraine was the order across the line in that sprint. So that moves Australia 1 up to 11 points ahead of Great Britain 1, who have 7. Australia 2 are on 6 and France on 5. Great Britain 2 have 2. And those are all the teams who are on the lead lap. 5 teams in total. The remaining teams are various laps behind the leaders. The best placed of those lap teams are the team of Russia, a lap behind, no points scored. Poland are 2 laps down with 1 point on the board. Ukraine also 3 laps down with a point scored. Czech Republic at -3 laps and Kazakhstan at -4 laps. Czech Republic lose another lap, so they join Kazakhstan on -4. We have 34 laps remaining. This really is now a battle between Australia and Great Britain. The French team also are still in with a chance. They've been riding well, following the wheels of the Australian and British teams. Of course, have weight of numbers, both Australia and Britain, featuring 2 teams in this race. .33 laps to go. Get a little bit of regrouping at the front as the pace is slacking a little bit. Furious activity into that last sprint. Australia 1 make the change. So Australia 1 and Great Britain 1 now. Australia 2 giving chase. A little gap open there for the second Australian team. They'll be looking to make their change in a moment. Following them is the team of Russia with team number 9. Lead riders through with Great Britain 1 on the front. Lauren Dolan looking out for Jenny Hull, who she'll find just at corner 3. Reaches out, grabs her arm, swings her in, and the pace continues. Australia 1 also making the change as well. So the positions remain. Well, Hull's actually swung up here and is going to dip in behind Australia 2. So it's Australia 1, Australia 2, Great Britain 1. At the head of the race, 28 to go. Seven teams in the leading group, but a number of them are 1 or more laps behind the leaders. Australia 1, Great Britain 1, Australia 2 and France. Great Britain 2 are in 5th place currently. Still on the lead lap, but only 2 points from the sprints, which have largely been contested by Australia 1 and 2 and Great Britain 1. France also picking up 5 points so far. We have got 2 more sprints remaining. We're 6 laps away from the penultimate one. Of course, points also on the final passage finish line as well. Pace begins to lift once more, and the attack is coming from Great Britain Team 1. Currently 7 points, with Australia 1 on 11, so they're determined to try and pick up the 5 points on the line in just short of a kilometre's time. Some of the teams who've fallen 4 laps behind are being withdrawn here by commissaires as the leader goes through. That's Jenny Hull for Great Britain. Sizable advantage, being chased by Australia 1. 3 to go to the sprint. Hull looking out for Dolan. They make the change. Lauren Dolan continues the pace at the head of the race, but Australia 1 quickly closing them down. Australia 1 with that advantage in the points competition. 11 plays 7 in the favour of Australia 1 versus Great Britain 1. 1 lap to go for the next 5 points. Still GB 1, but Australia 1 sitting on the wheel and about to come around the outside, are they, for 5 points? It's going to be close on the line, this. Great Britain on the inside, Australia 1 on the outside. Oh, that was too close for me to call. Great Britain making the change just immediately following the sprint line. Well, I think the Australians may have had the greater closing velocity there as they came across the finish line. And if so, they've picked up another 5 points with 1 sprint remaining. We'll wait for confirmation of that. 19 laps still to go. Team of Ukraine have been withdrawn from the race, so too Czech Republic. So 8 teams remain, and the head of the race now are Great Britain Team 2. There's Becky Raybould, scratch race champion. Confirmation of that sprint for you. Australia 1, GB 1, Australia 2, France 4th. So Australia 1 just beat Great Britain to the line once more. So 16 points now for Australia 1 with 1 sprint remaining. Great Britain 1 on 10, Australia 2 on 8, France on 6, Great Britain 2 still on 2 points. So the best they could hope for will be 3rd spot if Australia failed to score. And France failed to score as well in the last sprint. 16 laps remaining. GB1 are on the front. And in fact, it's France, I should say, who are on the front here. Similar colours for Great Britain 1 and the French team. It is Team 4 France leading around. The other teams just take a little respite. Poland, who are 3 laps down with 1 point scored. 2nd place currently in the leading group. Russia, 6th place for them, 2 laps down. So 8 teams remain. Kazakhstan are at the back, just making a change, almost half a lap behind the leading group. It's the French team of Clouard and Fortin. We're continuing to drive the pace here. In particular, at the moment, it's Valentin Fortin, that red number up there, along with Ruby Roseman Gannon of Australia 1. And for Great Britain 1, it's Jenny Hull. And Australia 2, well, they have Christina Clonan on the racing line currently. So all the teams who remain in the race, with the exception of Kazakhstan, are all together in that leading group. But it's only Australia 1, Great Britain 1 and Australia 2 who are on that lead lap. France showing as having lost a lap along with Great Britain 2. So now the battle, lines drawn between Australia 1 and 2 and Great Britain 1. Australia lead by 6 points with 1 sprint remaining. 9 laps to go. So 5 points on the line. It's not enough for Great Britain to beat Australia 1, short of a lap being gained by Great Britain 1. And they are still in the same group as Australia 1, keeping a very careful eye on proceedings. France with a little gap here. Got 6 points on the board, but now a lap down along with Great Britain 2. They have 2 points. Australia 1, looking the favourites going into the final 7 laps. Great Britain 1 again make their change, but the Australians have put in a big attacking move once more. Going around the outside. Ruby Roseman-Gannon of Australia opening the gap. Well, Australia 1 and 2 poised in 1st and 3rd place. Great Britain 1 still fighting hard. Change made once more as Jade Haynes for Australia 1 moves around the outside. 600 metres or 4 laps to go. Well, 800 metres if it was 4 laps, but it's 3 now. You know what I mean. 200-metre track. Got to get your head around the fact that it's 5 laps for a kilometre. We may almost have done that by the end of this competition. So the closing stages of this exhibition event. No medals or jersey for this, but I'm sure this race has been such a competitive one that the UCI will be looking to put the junior women's Madison into the list of championships for the Junior Worlds. And the team who will be coming out on top here are the team of Australia 1 with a lap to go. Ruby Roseman-Gannon has the honour of riding that lap for the team who are looking for victory here. Australia 1 come across the line and take the win, followed by Great Britain 1. That was Jenny Holt across the line there. Australians celebrating. They will take 1st place. Shake of hands between the 2 riders. And just look out for the results of that sprint. Great Britain 1 were in 2nd place, so that will retain the 2nd spot for them. And Australia 2 will come out 3rd. A couple of points ahead in the sprints, and critically 1 point ahead, 1 lap ahead also, I should say, of France. So France and Great Britain 2 losing laps in the closing stages of that Madison. So the 3 teams on the lead lap, and the points separating them is Australia 1, Great Britain 1, Australia 2. Australians have the flag already. Australia team 1. Jade Haynes and Ruby Roseman-Gannon. There will be a presentation ceremony for the Women's Madison exhibition event. You see the rider from Australia 2 there, Nicola McDonald, rolling around the track. It's confirmation for you. Australia 1, Great Britain 1, Australia 2. 21 points for Australia 1, 13 for Great Britain 1. Lucky 13 for 2nd place for Great Britain 1, and Australia 2 on 10 points. Those are the only 3 teams on the leading lap. France come in 4th, 1 lap behind with 6 points on the board, beating Great Britain 2 on the same lap, but they only had 2 points. And then Russia lead Poland. Russia on -2 laps and Poland on -3. Little look back at the start. And that accident befell Kazakhstan. The rider who came a cropper back into the action, but they lost laps quite quickly and indeed were withdrawn from the race before the completion. Ukraine and Czech Republic. And there's Great Britain 1 on the way to 2nd place overall. And there's Lauren Dolan throwing Jenny Hull into the action, but here come Australia 1 around the outside, dominating the race as they did almost from the start, and eventually taking an 8-point advantage by virtue of sprint points accrued to give them the win overall. So, exciting stuff. We hope you enjoyed that, and I'm sure we're looking forward to seeing the women's medicine as part of the World Championships in years to come. And we'll be looking back to the sprint competition in a moment. I should just point out that the information we do give you until we actually have the official results displayed in front of us, as you saw during the course of the point race, the men's point race last night, where a recount took the medal positions to a different order than originally anticipated. So they're provisional results we're giving you that come up here on our results system and also displayed on the scoreboard. A little bit of track maintenance going on here. Our hard-working team, complete with dustpan and brush, and the obligatory roll of gaffer tape. Bernard Dame, the technical delegate here for the UCI, just keeping a careful eye on repairs to the track. Make sure that the racing surface is in top order for the riders to resume the action in the women's sprint competition. So my colleagues here on the UCI Commissaires panel enjoying a joke with us in our commentary position. Been a great championships this, and of course still one day to go tomorrow. Hope you're enjoying our live stream here on the UCI YouTube channel. If you are, then why don't you like and subscribe to the channel, and also share it with your friends. Just click on the appropriate little button underneath the YouTube viewing window. And if you're thinking, well, I wish this was really on a proper television set, well, don't forget, if you've got one of those smart TVs that has a YouTube app on it, then you can watch us in full colour, full high definition on your favourite smart TV set by tuning into our live stream on the YouTube channel. We've also got Twitter going, so if you include the hashtag Aigle 2016, we will see that. OK, on the track now, we have got the riders for the women's sprint. This is match number 2 of the semi-finals. First match was taken by Yufan Guo of China ahead of Hetty van der Wouw of the Netherlands. Replacement lineup at the start this time, with the rider who drew the inside position in Heat 1 will start on the outside in Heat 2. So that was the the Netherlands rider, Hetty van der Wouw, who led that one away. She still has the lead position. Gao of the People's Republic of China, that silver medal from the time trial a couple of nights ago. And Hetty van der Wouw, well, she has taken silver in the European time trial competition and silver in the European sprint as well. Close battle this, but it's Guo of China who comes around the outside of van der Wouw. She dips down inside the sprinter's line, and the Netherlands rider well beaten for the second time. So Yufan Guo of China takes match number 2, and with it will progress into the final. 11.502 for the closing 200 metres. An impressive pace of just over 62 kilometres per hour. Here is the decisive moment. Guo had been taking advantage of the slipstream of van der Wouw. Would like to go around the outside, so the longer distance to go, but she had the greater speed, drawing level and then drawing ahead as they came under the scoreboard for the final time. And around the outside, and a relatively comfortable victory for Yufan Guo of China. First place secured in the finals. No necessity for a match 3 in that one. Semi-final Heat 2 features New Zealand and Germany, and it was victory to New Zealand in the first encounter for Emma Cumming, the team sprint gold medalist, and her opponent, Pauline Grabach of Germany, world record holder and winner of the time trial round once again. And she did last year in Astana in Kazakhstan, but this the sprint competition that she is a silver medal holder from last year. But she needs to take this one because Cumming got the better of her in match number 1, and it's Cumming who leads this one away from the line, craning her neck to keep a very careful eye upon her opponent. Grabach just keeping a bike length or so behind her. Both riders occupying the lower portion of the track, just gradually tickling the pedals and maintaining that pace. The element of surprise, of course, on the side of Grabosh, and you may see riders start to take a higher position. That's an attempt to use the height of the banking here, that 46.7 degree banking on this track, to launch an attack. Well, Grabosh just eases past Cumming there. A lap to go. Grabosh has the advantage. Cumming's not out of this though yet. She's got the longer way to go around. Grabosh inside that sprinter's line. Cumming launches her move now. Grabosh still carrying the lead into corner 3. Can Cumming come around the outside? It's going to be close as Grabosh leads into the finishing straight, and the German will take it across the line. So that will go to a decider. Pauline Grabosh of Germany didn't let Cumming get any ground that time. Followed her, then she accelerated at the right moment, came across and overcoming, dropped into the lead position. You can see that replayed. Grabosh makes a move, Cumming a little slow to respond, and that gave the upper hand to the German, which dropped inside that sprinter's line. And with the gap that was remaining when they came into the finishing straight, a valiant effort by Cumming. She came back really hard at Grabosh, but ran out of track to do it. So Pauline Grabosh makes that one match each, and it will go to a third and decisive encounter to secure the other final place alongside Yufan Guo of China. So we will see that decider very shortly, but first of all we will have the presentation ceremony for the women's Madison. I say presentation ceremony as opposed to medal ceremony because, of course, this is not an actual championship event yet, but hopefully the evidence that was put before us here on the Aigle track this afternoon, the really hotly contested women's Madison race, as I mentioned earlier, should see it hopefully secure a place in the championship lineup in years to come. The men's Madison, by the way, will take place during the course of tomorrow afternoon, the final day here at the 2016 Junior Track Cycling World Championships in Aigle. For those of you who know who are keen followers of the climatic conditions in Aigle currently, well, it's quite cloudy today outside, but it's very, very warm indeed. And the track centre once again, it's sweltering in temperatures approaching 30 degrees. As we heard yesterday, if you were following the coverage, or maybe you've re-watched it on the YouTube channel, as you can for well, pretty much the rest of time, I think you should say that. The coverage from yesterday, we spoke to Scott, one of the coaches here at the arena, Scott Bocton, and he was mentioning that the conditions inside the track, the pressure is pretty consistent and it is conducive to fast times. So despite those of us taking a more sedentary role at the championships, using every available means of disturbing the air to keep us cool, the riders will be pretty comfortable, I think, in these conditions. So there's the podium, almost ready to bring the victorious Australians, along with GB1 and Australia 2, to receive their awards. We've not been told what form the awards will actually take, but I'm sure flowers will be involved at some point as well. 21 points and the victory for Australia 1, Jade Haynes and Ruby Roseman-Gannon. Good fight from Great Britain 1, but they lost out on the points, not taking sufficient scores in the intermediate sprints to challenge Australia 1, so they finish in second position for Lauren Dolan and Jenny Hull. And Australia 2, 10 points on the board, 3 behind Great Britain 1, have secured third place for Nicola McDonald and Christina Clarn. So while we're just waiting for the riders to appear ready to receive their awards, let me just whet your appetite for competition yet to come here on the track this afternoon. The decisive match in the women's sprint semi-finals will be next. Then we'll have the final of the men's Omnium competition, which began yesterday, and the conclusion reached today. It's the men's Omnium points race. We then have the finals for the bronze and the gold medal rides in the women's sprint, and more action in the women's Omnium as well, which began here today. And the elimination race is the final event of the day on the track in the women's omnium. So that's all to look forward to during the course of this evening here. And I think we're now ready to bring you the presentation for the women's Madison.
May I have your attention for the award ceremony of the International Cycling Union Junior World Championship.
So the UCI anthem will bring the presentation party and the victorious riders to the podium. Australia Team 2, finishing third, will be first to receive their awards. Nicola McDonald and Christina Clonan.
Award ceremony of the UCI Junior World Championships Madison Women Exhibition Race. À troisième place, in third place, Nicola McDonald and Christina Clonan, Australia 2.
So the Australian Team 2 celebrating, as I suspected, a very nice bouquet of flowers will be the reward for completing that. Gentleman who I'd hazard a guess is a representative of the Swiss Cycling Federation presenting the flowers.
He was the guy that trained with these girls in yesterday afternoon.
Daniel Kissinger, the coach of the Swiss team, is the flower presenter.
In second place.
So second place for Great Britain Team 1.
Of Great Britain.
So the award for Great Britain Team 1, Lauren Dolan and Jenny Hall. They step onto the second step of the podium. And so to the winners. From Australia 1, Jade Haynes and Ruby Roseman Gannon. Also assisting with the presentations, Alex Russell, one of the mechanics here, the chief mechanic at the World Cycling Centre. And the Australian team, Australia 1, celebrating their victory. So too, Great Britain 1, in second place and third place for Australia 2. And Alex will, rather fittingly, as the chief mechanic, present the winning team with some wheels, always useful to have. A rear disc, a front spoked wheel for the winning team of Australia 1, Jade Haynes and Ruby Roseman Gannon.
Each of the winning riders will get a set of Mavic wheels. Thank you for that.
Wheels from Mavic, one of the supporters of the UCI. Well, we'll play the national anthem of Australia. Advance Australia fair, and so they did in first and third place for the Australians. And a great Women's Madison, an exhibition event which hopefully will now be part of the World Championships for the juniors in years to come.
Program for the World Championship.
Moving back to the track for the next piece of action, which will be that deciding match between Pauline Grabosch and Emma Cumming for the remaining place in the women's sprint finals. for the gold medal. Yufan Guo already through to that gold medal final, beating Hetty van der Wouw in 2 straight rides. But Cumming was the winner of match 1, and Grabash responding and taking match 2. So this one will require the decider. Face of concentration there, Pauline Grabash. The action will be able to resume once the podium backdrop has been repositioned, and Cumming and Grabash alongside each other. This is the draw for position, and that means that Cumming will start on the outside, and Grabash, that will say number 1 in it, and it does. She will start on the inside. So both riders now make up the way to the track. For the winner, the reward of a place in the gold medal final with Yufan Guo of China. For the loser, it's the bronze medal final against Hetty van der Wouw of the Netherlands. Both riders on board their machines, just attaching the feet to the pedals. Little nod there from Grabash as her assistant wheels her up onto the track. She drew the inside position, so will be in the lower position on the track and is obliged to lead away from the line, unless, of course, Cumming elects to go ahead of her. That'll be within her rights to do. Starter with pistol poised in one hand and a whistle in the other, just in case he has to stop the match. They will start on the whistle, and he's sure that both riders are ready. Away they go. Grabash giving a little push away from the line by her assistant. So Grabash came from behind and outpaced Cumming last time. See if the New Zealander might rethink her tactics a little here. She's hanging behind Grabash by a bike length or so. Prowling, she's out of the saddle, so she's about to move up, I think. Up and down, trying to throw Grabash off the scent, I think, and just dummy a little move. But Grabash is having none of it. She's continuing to occupy the lower position on the track. The acceleration begins. Grabash out of the saddle. Cumming draws closer. Still about half a bike length between them. They're into the final half lap here. Cumming's got the long way to go around again. Grabash has the sprinter's line and will come through, and in relatively ease against her opponent at the conclusion of that one. It is Pauline Grabash who will go through to the gold medal final, where she will meet Yufan Guo of China. And Emma Cumming, well, she will meet Hetty van der Wouw in the final for the bronze medal. Those two, of course, will be best of 3 to give us the eventual medal winners. See that one again. Grabash always inside that sprinter's line. Cumming was up and down behind her, trying to dummy a little move. Decided against that. Then she closed down on Grabash, who lifted herself out of the saddle, accelerated away, and you can see the gap is about 1.5 bike lengths at least when they went across the line. So Cumming not quite having the capacity to close that gap down, and Grabash comes out as the winner. So those sprint finals will be coming up on the agenda a little bit later on during the course of this evening's live coverage here. But we are now going into the final leg of the men's Omnium competition. It is the points race. So here for you from our video clip of information about the Omnium competition.
The Omnium is made up of 6 events and is contested over 2 consecutive days. The 6 events that make up the Omnium are Scratch Race, Individual Pursuit, the Elimination Race, Time Trial, a Flying Lap, a Points Race, The final standings are established by adding up the finishing places in each of the first 5 events and converting them using a point scale into points. Going into the final event, the points race, each point won during this event is then added to the previous total of points. The rider with the most points at the end of the points race is the winner.
So there you go. Conventional point race, with the exception of the fact that the riders take into the start of this race the points they've accrued so far in the competition. So that means that the current leader, with 184 points to his credit, is Campbell Stewart of New Zealand. In second place and 170 points is Fred Wright of Great Britain. Kelland O'Brien of Australia lies third and 166. Valentin Tabellion of France is fourth with 158. And in fifth place, Julius Johansen of Denmark is 154. Tied in sixth, Thomas Conte and Gerben Thiessen of Argentina and Belgium, respectively. They got 142 points each. A view of Fred Wright there from Great Britain, race number 20. Second spot in the time trial earlier this afternoon. Moved him up the classification. Scored consistently throughout every element of this Omnium competition. Began with the scratch race, then the individual pursuit, the elimination race last night, and then today we've had the time trial, the flying lap, and now, of course, the decider, which is the point race. Riders will cover 120 laps of the track. That's 24 kilometres in total, with 10 sprints. With the exception of the points from the Omnium competition, the rest of the rules are exactly the same as the regular points race that we saw contested a couple of days ago here. So 5, 3, 2 and 1 for each of those sprints for the first 4 riders across the line. A lap gain counts for 20 points. Fred Wright at the head of the race at the conclusion of the opening lap. Member of the European gold medal team pursuit winning squad for Great Britain. And Campbell Stewart, well, he was a member of the team pursuit squad who took gold here at the Junior Championships just a couple of days ago, and is the defending champion in the Junior Men's Junior Men's Omnium, I should say, having taken victory in Astana, Kazakhstan 12 months ago. So the race not begun yet. Starter now happy they're all together. Fires the gun. It's Kazakhstan at the front. Ertem Melnikov. Melnikov currently in 13th place with just 82 points scored. There is the current classification with the Omnium points attached to it. 184 the lead for Campbell Stewart, the defending champion. Kazakhstan still in the lead position as Korea give chase for Yen Woo Yu. That's how the main field quickly respond to that attack from the Korean. Nicholas Toro of Colombia moved up there, but it's now Poland and Spain making the attacking move. For Poland, it is Dawid Zubak, and the rider for Spain is Luis Maria Garicano. 5 away from sprint number 1. Poland take up the lead, followed by Spain and Kazakhstan. Korea in 4th. The Omnium leader, of course, the New Zealander, I should say, is Campbell Stewart. Australia lie 3rd with Kelland O'Brien. Australia currently in at 7th place, actually just 1 wheel behind the Kiwi, Stewart. But it's Switzerland, the home nation, who have lifted the pace. 3 riders got a small advantage, including the Australian O'Brien, but quickly snuffed out by the response from the peloton. Poland again come to the head of affairs with Denmark in 2nd wheel. That's Julius Johansen, who lies in 5th place in the Omnium with 154 points to his credit so far. Johansson, the winner of the scratch race, and also the individual pursuit as well. And he's leading now as we head towards the line with 5 points on offer for the first rider to cross the line this time. Fred Wright second for Great Britain, and third place there for Kellard O'Brien of Australia. So those points, 5, 3, 2 and 1, will be added to the points the riders already have from the Omnium thus far. Which means that Stewart didn't score in that one, so the gap will close because Wright picked up 3. He started on 170 points, moves it to 173. Stewart remains on 184, still has the lead. O'Brien of Australia third on 168. And Johansson of Denmark now fourth on 159 points. So those 5 points did Johansson good. He's getting ever nearer to a medal position. 9 points behind O'Brien of Australia. It's the Portuguese rider, João Diniz, who is currently the front. Johansson's second wheel, followed by France and the Czech Republic. And Italy, in fact, I should say. Italy in second spot there. And it is the Italians who start to try and come clear of that little group. Moreno Marchetti. Well, Switzerland on the attack once more. Robin Fredevaux. Gail Sutto, incidentally, rider who does his training here at the World Cycling Centre, is going to be representing his home nation in the Olympic Games in Rio, just a couple of weeks' time in the Omnium. So we wish him the best of luck. 99 laps to go for the riders here in the junior men's Omnium. Just check out that result. It was Switzerland ahead in that one, ahead of Belgium in second place, O'Brien for Australia third, and Yu of Korea in fourth place. So O'Brien cements his third place now. He's just 3 points behind Fred Wright of Great Britain, who didn't score in that sprint. Stewart hasn't scored in either sprint yet, so his advantage is gradually being chipped away here. Still on 184. 96 laps still to go. Poland and Great Britain giving chase, but it's Korea on the front. Fred Wright making a little move from further down the string. Wright still sitting second with 173 points. Into second place here, just ahead of the Frenchman, Valentin Tabellion. Tabellion in fifth with 158. Lead group of 4, slender advantage ahead of the chasing peloton, 4 away from the next sprint. France, Spain, Great Britain and Korea in that leading group. Spaniard is Luis Maria Garicano, lying 16th going into this competition. And he's still in that position with just 48 points on the board. So it would have to take numerous lap gains as well as sprint victories for the Spanish rider to haul himself up the classification and challenge for a medal. But the danger men in this leading group, Fred Wright and Tabellion of France, who's in fourth spot. A lap to go. Yu of Korea, 129 to his credit in 8th place. Is about to be overhauled by Tabellion. So Tabellion looking for a maximum 5-point score here on the line. Just take it ahead of Garicano of Spain. Looked like Wright for third place and 2 points, and 1 for Yu of Korea. replay of that one. It was close, but France just held on just about for a maximum point score. So Frenchman Tabellion will leap ahead of Johansson. 163 now in 4th place. Lead group down to 3. Korean rider has gone back into the main field. So that leaves Tabellion, Wright and Garicano at the head of the race. The chase behind is coming from Toro of Colombia. And Toro is about to make the junction with the leading group, so they become 4 once more as the Colombian installs himself amongst them. Toro, though, sitting right at the bottom of the classification with just 48 points to his credit thus far. And the lead group is swiftly caught back by the main field. Just in time, though, for the next attacking move to begin to develop here. Johansson, who missed out in the sprint last time and lost ground to Tabellion, the Frenchman, is involved in this one, along with Thomas Conte of Argentina. So it's Belgium and Argentina now at the head of the race. It's 4 away from the next sprint. Conte of Argentina on 1:42. Points scored, 7th place overall. Johansson, winner of the individual pursuit and of the scratch race. Looking for points. He's slipped to 4th. 4 points behind Tabellion of France. Still Stewart, Wright and O'Brien at the top of the table. Stewart yet to score, though, in this point race. His 184 points have come from the preceding rounds of competition. He was the winner of the time trial and the elimination here last night as well. 2 riders at the head of the race are still making good ground. 1 lap to go to the sprint. Argentina and Denmark will pick up 1st and 2nd place. Argentinian gets 5, the Dane gets 3. Coming through for 3rd is New Zealand, so the first point score for Campbell Stewart, followed by Callan O'Brien of Australia. They immediately return to the main field, headed by the chase of Fred Wright of Great Britain. The Argentinian and the Dane remain at the head of the race. Their advantage is half a lap ahead of the chasing peloton as they come into the scoreboard. The main field going out of corner 2. 78 laps remaining, 8 away from the next sprint. Well, the rules of the elimination were changed a few years ago. It used to end with a little bit of a damp squib in some ways with the time trial competition, but the order was changed around, so it was the point race that counted, and of course the points with particularly significance from right across the Omnium. But look at this, 20 points are going to be scored here by Argentina and by Denmark, both of whom have gained a lap. That means that Callan O'Brien now of Australia is the head of the race underneath the scoreboard, with the chase from Garicano of Spain. 20 points, though, picked up by Argentina and by Denmark. So that propels Johansson of Denmark into 2nd place, just 4 points now behind the lead of Stewart. Conte moves up to 5th on 167 points. It's Callan O'Brien of Australia who has the head of the race, and he's not too far behind the main field. If he catches up to the rear of them, he too will get 20 points. Lap gain about to be made by Australia. So Callan O'Brien gets 20. The head of the race is now the Spanish rider in the back straight, Garicano. Well, not quite sure he's got the legs to make the lap gain. He's still ahead of the race, so he's looking good for 5 points on the line this time. 3 riders attack from the main field. Once again, it's the Argentinian who has made the move. There's the bell with a lap to go. Still Garicano of Spain being chased now. Russia making their presence felt in this chasing group here. That's Molnev of the Russian Federation, along with Diniz of Portugal, and the Argentinian who is ramping up the points at the moment, having gained that lap a little earlier, moved himself up into 5th place with 167 scored. Well, that lap gain by Callan O'Brien of Australia has changed the top of the leaderboard. It's pushed to Campbell Stewart, the defending champion, down to 2nd place. The differential is 5 points, or a lap sprint win between Stewart and O'Brien. Johansson of Denmark also with that lap gain is up there, crashing out though at corner 2. That looked like the crash involving just one rider there, so he'll hopefully be able to get back in the action. He's back on his feet. He'll be able to resume his position in the race without penalty, presuming he can be pushed back in, and he is done. Meanwhile, the attacks once more at the head of the race with 67 laps to go. And it's the defending champion, Campbell Stewart of New Zealand, who's looking to regain his lead, having had to give it up to O'Brien a few moments ago. Head of the race is Fred Wright of Great Britain here, with Spain just behind him. And a sizable group here, trying to gain ground at the rear of the main field. Fred Wright, who's down to 4th now, with those riders gaining laps earlier. Both Johansson of Denmark and O'Brien of Australia profiting from that lap gain, as did Conte of Argentina. A lot of pointing going on down at trackside, but Fred Wright continuing here. The British representative here in the Omnium competition as the head of the race. Group of 4 ahead are off the back. So Wright making good forward progress here. The Dane Johansson is in the group that Wright is about to catch up with. Sprint this time. Well, Wright will just hold off, I think, for the points. 5 for Fred Wright. Should give him 180. We will update that score for you once we have confirmation of the 60 lap to go sprint. All action at the moment in this men's Omnium points race, the final element of the competition. That audacious move from Cullen O'Brien of Australia gave him the lead ahead of the defending champion Campbell Stewart of New Zealand. So it was Malnev of Russia who took maximum points that time. Portugal getting 2nd place. Well, I thought Fred Wright was being pointed at by the commissaire at the trackside as being the head of the race, but the points have been awarded to Malnev, Dinez, Yu and Zubak. So we'll look out for progress on that one. Our result system showing that Stewart has regained the lead ahead of Wright. So Wright has moved up. I thought he was the winner of that sprint. He is currently 11 points behind the lead of Campbell Stewart. O'Brien once again finds himself in 3rd place on 191, having been passed by Fred Wright, courtesy of that sprint victory. Head of the race is Campbell Stewart, regaining his lead in this very closely fought Omnium. Wright still challenging, so too Cullen O'Brien. He's had the lead in his grasp already. Now he's back into bronze medal position, but still 55 laps of racing remain. A little bit of a lull before the next attacking move, which is sure to come here. Riders try to claw the way up the classification. And Conte of Argentina goes on the attack again. He's already got a lap gain to his credit. And he's currently in 4th place, just outside the medals, but he's only 3 points away from Cullen O'Brien, so the Australian needs to be watchful here of the move of the Argentinian. Johansson of Denmark, having dropped down the classification to 5th place, is looking to get more points in the upcoming sprint, but 2 laps away from that one. In the lead group also is Marchetti of Italy. So it's Argentina, Denmark and Italy at the head of the race. The chase once again coming from Yu of Korea. There's 1 lap to go to the sprint. And it's Toro of Colombia who's trying to bridge between the lead group and the chasing peloton. Leaders through, followed by Toro of Colombia. And just behind him is Thiessen of Belgium. But on the line, it looked like advantage for Denmark. Let's wait for confirmation of that one. So Stewart retains the lead. Johansson picks up points in that 50-lap to go sprint. Got third behind Marchetti of Italy and Conte of Argentina, with Toro of Colombia picking up the remaining points in fourth place. Ahead of the race is currently Colombia and Belgium. 3 riders coming across the gap, led by Korea and Switzerland. France at the front of the chasing peloton for Valentin Tebellion. Tebellion currently losing a further place down to 6th place on 1:06.3. 5 points separate the top of the table, and that second place in the sprint has moved the Argentinian Conte up to the top of the table. Another lap gain to his credit, along with Johansson. Well, those 3 now have displaced some of the top markers. Fred Wright down to 4th place now, and O'Brien down to 5th. So Conte of Argentina gaining ground, picking up laps, and with it points as well. 211 shown for Conte of Argentina. Defending champion Stewart now in second, 5 points in arrears in 2:06. 2 points behind him, Johansson of Denmark on 2:04. Wright of Great Britain is a further 9 points behind on 195. 42 laps to go. Be 41, I think, when the leaders come into the home straight this time. Nope, still 42 laps to go, and it is the defending champion Campbell Stewart. He's seen his lead snatched away twice now. First by Callan O'Brien of Australia, and now by the rider from Argentina, Thomas Conte. Conte's not won any single round of the Omnium competition. Scored in the top third of the table in most of them, but he's really benefited from the points race here. Still 39 laps remaining. Fred Wright of Great Britain seen a medal slip from his grasp at the moment, hence the reason he's making the pace at the head of the race with France, New Zealand, Australia. 8 to go to the next sprint. So Stewart getting valuable points in that 40 lap to go sprint. Now tied along with Conte on 211. On the attack here is Sergei Melnev of the Russian Federation. Melnev in 10th on 1:28. The Swiss rider also coming through here, Robin Fredevaux of Switzerland. France once again try and close down the gap. So it's Switzerland, France, Russia, first 3 across the line that time. Once again, we're seeing a little attack by 3 riders at the head of the race. France, along with Switzerland and Colombia. Looks like the Kazakhstan rider here, Melnikov, is about to lose a lap when the main field catch him up. And streaking away from that group is Nicolas Toro of Colombia. Still lying 16th overall with 49 points. 3 away from the next sprint. Switzerland and France looking at each other behind, and Toro looks over his shoulder as well. Well, he knows that 5 points not really going to improve his standings awfully much in the Omnium, as he's in 16th place. So he didn't persist with that attacking move. But Fredevaux of Switzerland has joined him at the front. More critically though, Fred Wright comes through, and underneath goes the attack from Spain and New Zealand and Italy. Garicano of Spain launched that move. He's in 15th place, but around the outside, here comes Campbell Stewart, the defending champion, tied on points with Conte of Argentina, but 5 points on the line this time will do him no harm at all in the battle to retain his Omnium title. Italy second, Australia third. I think Argentina might just have got 4th place in that one. We'll just go to our computer for confirmation of that sprint result. Yep, Conte with 1 point in 4th. So that means that Stewart will go back into the lead by 5 points. Well, it's a real ding-dong battle this for victory in the Omnium competition. This is what makes the Omnium so exciting now, with the point race coming at the end. It is all about the points here. 5 points the advantage for Conor Stewart. Campbell Stewart even of New Zealand, ahead of Conte of Argentina. Johansson of Belgium, of Denmark, let's get that right. Johansson of Belgium, of Denmark, 204 points. Scoreboard just scrolling before my eyes here. So yeah, Stewart of New Zealand, Conte of Argentina, Johansson of Denmark are the top 3. Wright of Great Britain in 4th place currently. 25 laps to go. A little bit of a regrouping at the head of the race. As pace settles just a little bit after a real period of frenetic activity. The Dane Johansson lying third, 2:04. 9 points ahead of Fred Wright of Great Britain. So Wright really does need some points in the last couple of sprints if he's to try and ease himself towards that bronze medal. Johansson, Conte and Stewart above him in the points table. And on the attack, Yeonwoo Yu of Korea. Yu's 9th with 1:35. So even a lap gain here wouldn't propel him into contention for a medal position for Yu. So he's not fully committed to this move, I don't think. Main field have him within the grasp. Looks like Poland going off the back. France in 2nd position, keeping our eye on Campbell Stewart as well, along with his nearest challenger, Conte of Argentina. Stewart on the inside of the track. It's still advantage Korea for the 5 points. It's Cullen O'Brien of Australia in the middle here, but look out for the charge of Argentina. Conte has not given up on this one yet. Can he come through and beat the Korean for the lead position of 5 points? No, he can't, but he will get 3 for second. Stewart, though, also figured in that sprint. We'll see how that has reflected upon the point scores, with 1 sprint and then the final sprint remaining, 1 intermediate sprint and then the final lap sprint. Stewart on 2:16. Conte, who got 3 points in that one, on 2:13, so closes the gap. And Johansson back up to 3rd with 2:04, ahead of Wright, tied on points with Cullen O'Brien of Australia on 195. Stewart of New Zealand, Conte of Argentina, Johansson of Denmark. That's the battle currently. 16 laps remaining. Once again, it is Garicano of Spain in the leading group with Wright and the Swiss rider, Frodever. But an attack here from Fred Wright. Wright's deficit is 9 points to Johansson in 3rd place. Trying to distance himself from Cullen O'Brien, who's tied with him on 195 points in joint 4th place. We're 4 away from the next sprint. Well, a lap gain for Fred Wright here would change the situation for the points competition and, of course, the medal competition. So Johansson in particular being watchful of this move of Wright. Argentinian Conte, well placed in that chase group of 2. Wright at the head of affairs, though. Fred Wright of Great Britain. His advantage is just about half a lap ahead of the main field, which is headed by Johansson of Denmark. Now Conte of Argentina, once again, challenging, and right on his wheel is Campbell Stewart. Only 3 points between them with 2 sprints yet to go. Fred Wright is underneath the scoreboard, looking for 5 points on the line. He will get them, so 5 for Wright. Looks like Stewart's going to come through ahead of Conte. So 3 for Stewart, 2 for Conte. So that will broaden the advantage for the New Zealander at the top of the table. Johansson out of the points that time. Wright still has the head of the race. Campbell and Conte, who are vying for the win, behind him. And then it's Switzerland leading the chase. Stewart, though, has increased his advantage to 4 points now ahead of Conte. 1 sprint remaining, 5 points for the winner. Johansson on 2:04, Wright now on 200. So victory in the final sprint or a lap gain for Fred Wright would see him overhaul Johansson. The Dane is aware of that. He's up to 2nd place in the chase. But once again, it is the defending champion Stewart who comes through. Fred Wright, tiring. Lap gain, I don't think, will be within his capability in the final 6 laps. But if he can stay up at the front, 5 points, and a failure to score by Johansson could still see Fred Wright take a bronze medal in the World Junior Omnium Championship. But the battle, of course, still between Stewart and Conte. Stewart of New Zealand, Conte of Argentina for the win. Johansson comes up chasing Fred Wright. The battle for the bronze medal here. 4 to go. Wright still has the lead. Here's Johansson into the finishing straight. Garicano of Spain gets in between the chase between Johansson and Wright, and Garicano moving well here. Will close the gap down. He's still 14th overall. Wright's going to be overhauled, and Johansson ominously is closing the gap on Fred Wright. The battle for the bronze medal is in the back straight between Johansson and Wright of Great Britain, and behind that it is between Conte and Stewart for the overall victory. Oh, this is going to come right down to the line. It's going to be Garicano with a lap to go this time round at the Spanish rider. Fred Wright has gone back into the main field. Fredovo of Switzerland in 2nd. Campbell Stewart comes clear, but being chased hard here. Here's the battle for the win. Stewart of New Zealand, and he's got the Argentinian right on his wheel, but Stewart leads into the finishing straight and across the line for the win. 5 points for Campbell Stewart will give the defending champion another World Junior Omnium title. 2nd place will go to Argentina and Conte. And the battle for the bronze, well, we will need to confirm the result of that final sprint between Johansson and Wright on the line. I think Johansson will get it. Fred Wright just outside the points, so too Johansson, but he had the lead. Stewart will be 2:24, Conte 2:18, Johansson 2:04, and Stewart 200. Neither rider benefiting in the final sprint, so their positions relative for that bronze medal unchanged, which means Johansson of Denmark will take the bronze. But what a battle for the gold and silver medals. Consolatory pat on the shoulder there from Campbell Stewart for Fred Wright, and Wright sportingly shaking Stewart's hand. Conte of Argentina, well, he really did propel himself up the classification in that points race. 3 lap gains moved him from a relatively lowly starting point of 6th overall on 1:42 up to challenging for the gold, but didn't quite have it. Stewart doing enough and coming through, dominating that final sprint, outpacing Conte to the line, raising his bike aloft, being handed the obligatory New Zealand flag as well. Conte embraced by his team helpers. A great ride from the Argentinian, and you can see the amount of effort required written all over his face, embracing the winner. Members of the New Zealand delegation here at these Junior World Championships, they're strongly represented. They're very vocal indeed in support of their riders, and they're seeing great success as well. None more so than that dominating performance in the Omnium competition from Campbell Stewart. He saw his lead snatched from him on 2 occasions during that race. First it was Cullen O'Brien of Australia and Thomas Conte of Argentina. But in the end, he prevailed, and for the 2nd year in succession, he is the World Junior Omnium gold medalist. So Look at that move there from Garicano of Spain in that sprint earlier in the race. He picked up a few valuable points, but he was too far down the classification. That battle, though, between the Dane, Johansson, and Britain's Fred Wright, was the Belgian who came to grief, tearing his skin suit asunder. But he was swiftly back on his feet and back in the race. And Thiessen finishing 8th overall on 1:46. And there's Conte, silver medal at the end of this race. So close to the gold, but in the end, it was a strong defence of his title from Campbell Stewart of New Zealand, powering past Conte. And in the final sprint for the line, a look over the shoulder, job done, celebration can begin for Campbell Stewart of New Zealand. Both arms held aloft, the winner of the men's Junior Omnium for 2016. Well, the cheers and the applause are still ringing around the track, the draw being made for the riders going into the finals of the women's sprint competition. The first final will be that for the bronze medal, contested between Emma Cumming of New Zealand, who will start on the inside, and Hetty van der Wouw of the Netherlands, who will start on the outside. Again, this is the best of 3 to bring us the eventual bronze medal winner. Van der Wouw losing out to Yufan Guo of China in the semi-finals. And Cumming, she fought hard against Pauline Grabosch of Germany. It went to a decider, but eventually it was the German who prevailed. So Cumming is in the battle here for the bronze, along with Van der Wouw. 3 laps of the track to decide this opening encounter. Always good to get the first win on your side of the result board. And it's Van der Wouw in the orange, white and black of the Netherlands, who has the lead position going into the final lap. Cummings left herself a big gap to close. She is making ground, but I fear she may have left it too late to challenge Van der Wouw. And it is victory for the Netherlands in match number 1. Hetty van der Wouw goes 1 up against Emma Cumming of New Zealand. Van der Wouw has had a successful run both in the Europeans and in the World Championships, but looking for that bronze medal, and she's taken 1 step towards it. Meanwhile, the gold medal final, match 1, Pauline Grabosch of Germany taking on Yufan Guo of China. So Grabosch was the silver medalist in Astana, Kazakhstan, 12 months ago in the sprint competition. Winner of the gold medal in the time trial here this year. Just correction to that stat, she was the silver medalist in the European Championships last year, not the World Championships, in Athens in Greece in the sprint. Losing out to Emma Heinze in the final on that occasion. And Guo of China draws level. They are shoulder to shoulder coming out of corner 4 through the bell. Chinese rider has got the longer way to go round. Grabosh continues to hold her off. Only half a wheel between them, though. Has the Chinese rider got the strength to come around the outside of Grabosh? It's going to be close on the line, but just in favour of the German. So Grabosh, well, she was pushed hard by Guo of China, but not quite hard enough. And Grabosh takes first blood in the match for the gold medal. See that one again. Guo getting alongside Grabosh, but the German on the inside line, the shorter way to the line, and the closing pace of Guo not quite sufficient to overhaul Grabosh before they reach the finish line. So that sprint competition will continue a little bit later, but now we are going to bring you the finals in the men's individual pursuit. And here's some video to inform you about the procedure for the individual pursuit competition.
In the individual pursuit, riders with the 2 best times ride off in the final for gold and silver. The next 2 fastest riders ride off in the final for bronze and 4th place. 1 rider starts on each side of the track, and they race each other and the clock. The winner is determined by either catching the other rider or by recording the fastest time.
So, 2 riders, 1 on either side of the track. The starting gates in position. The bike of the rider who'll start in the home straight in this bronze medal final, already clamped into the starting gate. It'll be Ethan Hayter of Great Britain, national champion of Great Britain for the individual pursuit at the junior level. Second in the Omnium competition at the European Championships just a week or so ago. And also part of the gold medal winning team pursuit squad. But he's battling here for the bronze medal. His opponent, who will start in the back straight, representing Germany, is Bastian Flick. The distance is 3 kilometers, 15 laps of the track. World record stands to Jonathan Narvaez of taken in Mexico. Our stats don't reveal his nationality, unfortunately. Taken in Mexico, Ascos Calientes in April 2015, 3:13.309 on that occasion. I should refer to my more detailed list of world record times to confirm that. But fastest in the qualification round was Ethan Hayter, hence his position in the home straight. He recorded a time of 3:15.549. And the time for his opponent, Bastian Flick of Germany, 3:16.646. So, Hayter home straight for Great Britain, Flick of Germany in the back straight. "15 laps of the track to decide this one. Important to get a good start, but also important to maintain the schedule you've worked out right through the ride. Hayter starting more slowly than Flick, but that's no necessarily a guarantee that'll be the situation at the end of the race. Hayter will be looking to gradually ramp up the pace. Coach at trackside indicating to each rider their position relative to their opponent by the position they stand relative to the line on which they started. You'll see the coaches on either side stepping backwards and forwards. British coach, though, will indicate to his man that he's on the kind of schedule they're looking for. 900 metres, approaching the first kilometre split time. And Hayter just slightly behind still, 1.7 seconds compared to Flick of Germany. Both riders holding a steady line around the bottom of the track. can see the British coach is indicating to Hayter, you need to lift it a little bit. Still advantage for Germany by 1.9 seconds. So Hayter, I'm sure, would love to add a world bronze medal to his silver and gold from the European Championships. Still going well here. Gap is being maintained, 1.8 seconds. So Hayter not yet necessarily lifted the pace. Part of that bronze medal team pursuit squad here a couple of nights ago as well, along with the rest of the squad. So he's already got a bronze medal to his credit from the team pursuit. The individual pursuit, of course, his target currently. Ethan Hayter of Great Britain still in deficit to Flick of Germany. And the laps gradually ticking away here. 4 laps to go. 600 metres. Still 1.4 seconds the deficit in favour of Flick of Germany. So if Hayter has got anything left in the tank, he'll be looking to try and bring it onto the track in the next 2 laps, because he's got a gap to close, fallen inside a second, so he has started to lift his pace. Flick may be starting to tire a little as well. 0.8 of a second, this is going to be close. Hayter has lifted it now. Flick glancing across, 0.7 of a second. So can Ethan Hayter pull this one out in the final stage with our split screen showing you the difference between the two? It's all down to the final 200 metres. 0.696 still in favour of Flick of Germany. And as we come to the line, the German will take it. So victory for Bastian Flick of Germany in 3:16.239. Ethan Hayter will finish 4th in the junior individual pursuit, 3:16.941 his time. A little slower than his qualification ride earlier today. And Flick a little faster than his, so he kept a little bit in reserve for the bronze medal final. And will take that award when we come to the presentation ceremony a little bit later. But we shall turn our attention now to the battle for the gold and silver medals. So the rider shown on your screen at the moment, starting in the back straight, is Rasmus Pedersen of Denmark, and his opponent from the home nation of Switzerland, Stefan Bissinger. It would, of course, be a popular win if the Swiss rider could take the gold medal here as the individual pursuit champion, junior individual pursuit champion of the world. Flag held aloft. Countdown not yet begun. Just waiting for confirmation that the rider in the back straight is ready to go. A little bit of confusion here as our commissar is shrugging his shoulders in the back straight. Just trying to get the riders from the preceding heat off the track, I think. So Pedersen waiting patiently. Now the flag is raised in the back straight, so the countdown will begin from 50 seconds downwards. The bleep on 10 and then 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 before the bike is released from the starting gate. And we will be underway in the gold medal final for the men's junior individual pursuit title. Pedersen with a silver medal last year at the European Championships in the team pursuit. Into the final few seconds. Qualification time for the rider in the home straight, Stefan Bissinger of Switzerland, was 3:13.517 in the qualification round earlier today. And his opponent, Pedersen of Denmark, 3:14.532. So on that form, the Swiss is the favourite here, but it was a small gap between them. And as we just saw in the bronze medal final, doesn't necessarily reflect the outcome of the final. Both riders will be keen to benefit from a good start. In the early stages, it is Bissinger who is ahead. Green and red and black and white of Switzerland. And of course, we are here in Switzerland, in Aigle, for these World Junior Track Cycling Championships, the home of the UCI at the World Cycling Centre. So, vocal support, as you may expect, for the Swiss rider here. But the Dane also getting strong support as well. And he is the rider who is currently behind by 1.151 of a second. Bissinger still tapping out the better rhythm. Both riders hugging that black line, our split screen view, showing the relative positions with the home straight at the top and the back straight at the bottom. Smooth pedalling style for both of them. Just the legs pumping away, almost imperceptible upper body movement. All the energy being delivered to the bike through those two pistons. And it is still advantage Switzerland for Stefan Bissinger. 1.005 the deficit for Pedersen to try and close. Well, when we show you our split view, you will see that it is still advantage Switzerland. .8 seconds now in arrears is Pedersen. Well, he's going backwards. And the Swiss rider here beginning to turn the screw. It's going to come down to the last 2 laps as Pedersen's deficit now stretches to more than 2 seconds. In fact, now to more than 3 seconds. So Pedersen is losing ground very, very rapidly in the closing stages. Bissinger of Switzerland in the same straight now as his opponent. And it looks like Switzerland are on course for a gold medal at their home championships. Here comes Bissinger across the line in 3:12.416. Not only is that victory, but that is a new world record. 3:12.416 for Stefan Bissinger of Switzerland, beating the previous record of 3:13.309. And eventually, the deficit for Pedersen of Denmark was nearly 6 seconds. He gave it all, but didn't have the reserves of strength necessary to overcome his Swiss opponent in the final run to the line. And Switzerland celebrates gold for their man Stefan Bissinger in the men's junior individual pursuit. Some Swiss flags immediately available for Bissinger as he rides a victory lap around this velodrome at the World Cycling Centre in Aigle. There we go, as he goes past our commentary position, inciting a little bit of a Mexican wave here in Switzerland from the many holders of Swiss flags here in the spectator seats. They love a home victory, and well they might. It was a great ride from Stefan Bissinger of Switzerland, the World Junior Champion for the individual pursuit. Well, whilst the celebrations continue, some younger members of the Swiss contingent there with their flags and a nice polka dot hat as well. There's another view of the start. Bissinger was ahead the whole way through that. He started fast and he continued fast all the way through. Pedersen, well, faded towards the end. can see the pain etched on the face of Bissinger there. You really do have to give it all, but the reward is a sweet one. It is the rainbow jersey of world champion and a gold medal, and no one can ever take that away from him. There he is, helmet removed, on foot, still with the flag, and shortly to make his way to the presentation podium to receive the jersey and the gold medal. On the subject of victory ceremonies, that will be our next order of business here on day 4 of the UCI 2016 Junior Track Cycling World Championships. We're live here on the UCI YouTube channel. You're enjoying the action streamed live to your smart device this afternoon. Thank you for your company. We've had great viewing figures over the preceding 3 days. And people appreciating the opportunity to see all of the action here at these Junior Championships. Some great camera shots and some great work from our backroom boys and girls in the TV truck, bringing you instant highlight reviews, slow motion action, and a great view of the competition as well. So still plenty of action to come, of course, not only today but on tomorrow's final day of competition as well. You'll see the backdrop has been put in place at the far end of the stadium. And that means that we'll be looking to the presentation for the men's Omnium competition, which we saw concluded with that breathtaking points race. Still the celebrations continue for the Swiss when following that individual pursuit win. So we will divert our attention away from the Swiss camp to bring you our podium presentation for the men's Omnium Championship. The UCI anthem will bring the top 3 athletes in the men's Omnium to the podium.
Cérémonie protocolaire de l'Omnium Junior Homme award ceremony of
the award ceremony will begin as ever with the rider in 3rd place, the bronze medal position.
In 3rd place and winner of the bronze medal.
It was a hard-fought battle for bronze as well. Great Britain's Fred Wright not quite able to score the points required to displace Julius Johansson of Denmark. He will receive the bronze medal, finishing 3rd in the men's Omnium.
De Aigle, the major of Aigle.
Presentations being made by the mayor of Aigle, and the jersey, of course, will go to the winner, but the silver medal will go to the Argentinian. He put up a really strong battle for the win, sportingly applauded by the eventual victor. That's Thomas Conte of Argentina, the winner of the silver medal. And so to the world junior champion to receive the rainbow jersey and the medal from New Zealand, successfully defending his title from 12 months ago, Campbell Stewart. A view of the New Zealanders. Been strong support all week for the New Zealand team. And they've got another great victory here in the men's junior Omnium. So now for the flower presentation for the top 3. And that is Victoria Pendleton presenting the flowers. Sprint champion, Keirin champion, who began her training here at the World Cycling Centre along with Ross Edgar a good few years ago. And we will hear now the national anthem of New Zealand. the podium for the junior men's Omnium competition, and victory for Campbell Stewart of New Zealand. Joined on the top step by silver medalist from Argentina, Thomas Conte, and the bronze medal from Denmark, Julius Johansen. Victoria Pendleton applauding warmly. Had a little chance to speak to Vicky earlier today. As I mentioned, she and Ross Aigle spent the early part of their career learning the ropes of the sprint here at the World Cycling Centre in Aigle. So it was a nice return for Vicky to come back here today and to watch some great competition. Now retired, of course, from competitive cycling and taken up horse riding, very successful indeed as well. Confirmation of that medal ceremony that you've just seen on the screen, and we'll be looking forward to more action in the women's sprint. We're at the match 2 stage in the ride for the medals. First on the track will be the bronze medal final, match 2. Winner of match 1 was Hetty van der Wouw of the Netherlands. Her opponent, Emma Cumming of New Zealand, needs to win match 2 if she's going to force a decider. Just a little pause before the riders come to the track. Time for me to just remind you that, of course, we've got full live streaming of the final session of racing here tomorrow, on the last day of action here at the Junior World Cycling Championships in Aigle. Bit of an earlier start for us on that Sunday afternoon, 1:45, so do tune in to your YouTube channel, the UCI YouTube channel for that. If you don't have a YouTube app readily available, you can also watch it on your computer via the UCI website, or indeed the YouTube website as well. The UCI website, if you go to uci.ch and go to the track page on there, you will find a box you can click on to bring you the live stream on your web page on your computer. So here are the riders, and it's Cumming who will be brought onto the track just behind van der Wouw. Change around in the start order this time. Cumming led away last time. This time it's van der Wouw. If it goes to a decider, then they will draw for position once more. Van der Wouw taking a couple of silver medals at the European Championships this year in the time trial and in the sprint. So she's looking here for a bronze medal from the World Championships, and she has got one match in her favour. So Cumming can't afford to give the Dutch rider too much ground here. That was her undoing last time. Van der Wouw outpacing her to the line. So Cumming must close this gap in the back straight. Fully committed, both riders now inside the sprinters line. Cummings left herself work to do and the long way to go around. She can't do it. So in 2 straight rides, it will be the bronze medal for Hetty van der Wouw of the Netherlands. Closing 200 metres, for reference 11.961, 60.196 kilometres per hour. She won't mind how fast or slow she went. She knows she's got the bronze medal, congratulated sportingly by her opponent Emma Cumming, who finishes 4th overall in the sprint competition. Whilst Hetty van der Wouw continues to celebrate that bronze medal, we will turn our attention now to the ride for the gold medal. Grabosh, the winner of the first encounter. Our opponent, Yufan Guo of China, ran her close at the finish, but Grabosh, just with the greater closing velocity. It's hardly possible had the track been a little longer, or the finishing line a little further around the banking, that Guo may have come over the top of Grabosh, because she had the, I think she had the better closing speed just beyond the line, but it was on the line that counted, and Grabosh was the winner to go one up against her Chinese opponent. So it's the Chinese rider on the inside and the German on the outside for match 2 in the gold medal final. Yufan Guo must win this to force a decider, otherwise it'll be silver medal for her and gold for Grabosh. Guo just looking behind here, trying to anticipate the move of Grabosh, which comes now. The German draws alongside, then moves ahead, and at the bell, and 200 metres to go on the line. It's advantage Germany. Guo still in contention though. She's got to go around the outside as Grabosh is below that sprinter's line. And Guo, I think, once again will be outpaced by the German. Indeed she is. So, Pauline Grabosh of Germany takes 2 matches to defeat Yufan Guo of China and will become the world junior women's sprint champion. It'll be silver for Yufan Guo of China, and as we saw, the bronze medal going the way of Hetty van der Wouw of the Netherlands. So no necessity for a decider in either of the medal matches for the women's junior sprint. And there is the victor with the German flag, Pauline Grabosh. Looking pretty pleased with that. And she's ridden well to get through to that final, face some hard competition from some very good riders indeed. And a lot of promise in the women's junior sprint category from the action we've seen over the past couple of days. But at the moment, Grabosh in the ascendancy with that gold medal, congratulated by a member of the German team supporting the riders here at these World Championships. Just being detached from her machine. No doubt she'll hold that flag aloft once more. We will be seeing the victory ceremony for that women's sprint a little bit later. We do have yet more competitive action on the track for you, which will be the very exciting climax of day 1 of the women's Omnium competition. It's the always popular, sometimes controversial, never uninteresting elimination race. Before that, however, we will also have the victory ceremony for the men's individual pursuit. That will be the next item on your screens. Just readying the presentation podium for the awarding of the medals and the jersey. UCI were pleased to confirm a couple of days ago that the manufacturer of the rainbow jerseys, Santini, one of the key supporters of the UCI, signed a new contract for the next 4 years to be the official jersey supplier for the World Championships. So the riders almost ready to come to the podium to receive their awards for the Men's Junior Individual Pursuit Championship. UCI anthem, which brings our presentation party to the podium. Medals presented in reverse order. Bronze, silver and gold, as is traditional. The recipient of that bronze medal, being held on the silver salver there, will be the rider from Germany, Bastian Flick. And Flick just prompted there by Swiss rider to take his step on the podium. Silver medal for Denmark and Rasmus Pedersen. He needed no prompting, straight onto the podium. And so we come to the gold medal for the home nation of Switzerland. So the celebrations, doubtless, will be continuing around the velodrome here in Aigle for the gold medal winner, the world junior champion, receiving his rainbow jersey. Stefan Bissinger is the junior world individual pursuit champion. The Swedish fans, sorry, the Swiss fans over there, just waving the flags in support. And will be joining in with the national anthem very shortly. And there is the all-important gold medal. And his step at the top of the podium, arms aloft for the world champion, Stefan Bissinger of Switzerland. Barely contain his emotions. Probably the proudest moment of that young man's life. Those rainbow bands will be with him forever. Here comes the flower presentation once again from Victoria Pendleton. And we will now hear the national anthem of the home nation of these championships, the national anthem of Switzerland. Moment, but a broad smile, and the first medal for Switzerland at the Junior World Championships, and it's a gold one for Stefan Bissinger, joined on the top step of the podium by Rasmus Pedersen of Denmark and Bastian Flick of Germany. Well, he did well to hold back the tears, but there were tears of joy. A very proud young man. The world junior individual pursuit champion. So he's off now to sign some of the rainbow jerseys after a photo opportunity with Victoria Pendleton, world and Olympic champion. And Franco Marvuli, Swiss rider, king of the 6 days, and our stadium announcer here at these World Championships. Like the whole of Switzerland is getting involved in the photograph now, I think. And Stefan Bissinger, well, it really is his day. More pictures, more smiles, and I'm sure the celebrations will continue long into the night. So Switzerland finally make the mark on the medal table in the best way possible. I suspect that photographer might be Swiss as well. So the pen, I might be about to sign it upside down. There we go, other way around, that's it. The rainbow jersey, signs a rainbow jersey with his name as world champion for the junior individual pursuit. So a little pause before our next presentation ceremony, with the no necessity for a third match in the women's sprint. We'll immediately be bringing you the women's sprint victory ceremony. And following that, the event that many of us look forward to, part of the Omnium competition. It's the elimination race. Before that, though, here is our next medal ceremony for the junior women's sprint.
Ceremony protocolaire de la vitesse junior femme. Award ceremony of the sprint junior women. À la troisième place, the gagnant de la médaille de bronze. In third place and winner of the bronze
medal presentation first, as ever. And from the Netherlands, Hetty van der Wouw.
Médaille et maillot sont remis par. The medals and the jerseys will be presented by Mr. Maria Stettina, membre du comité directeur UCI, member of the UCI Director Committee.
On to silver, to add to the silver she already has from the time trial. Finishing second in the sprint from the People's Republic of China, Yu Fanguo. And so to the world champion for the junior women's sprint competition to receive the rainbow jersey and the gold medal, representing Germany, Pauline Sophie Grabosch. And we'll add to the rainbow jersey the gold medal of the world champion. Congratulations from the presenter. They'll now receive the flowers.
The flowers will be presented by Mr. Philippe Simonet, membre comité directeur de Swiss Cycling, member of the Swiss Cycling Directors Committee.
Flowers presented by a member of the Swiss Cycling Federation, congratulating Hetty van der Wouw. Moving on to the silver medalist, Yu Fanguo. And finally the bouquet for the World Junior Champion. And to go with the flowers, Pauline Grabosch will now hear, ringing around the stadium, the national anthem of Germany.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention now for the national anthem of Germany. Und das sind sie, die drei schnellsten Sprinterinnen aus China. Yufang Guo aus den Niederlanden, Hetty van der Wouw und die neue Weltmeisterin Pauline Grabosch.
So the three medalists on the top step of the podium. As Pauline Grabosch will head away now to complete the formalities for any world champion, beginning by applying her signature to the replica rainbow jersey. Confirmation of those positions for you on the screen. Well, just one event left on the track this evening. We're at the halfway point in the women's omnium competition, and that can only mean one thing, the elimination race. If you were with us yesterday, you'd have seen non-stop action in the men's equivalent of the elimination race. And of course, the points for this carried forward into tomorrow's final day of competition. And the riders will contest the remaining elements of the women's omnium. And if you have missed out on any of the previous action in this, we have got for you now a piece of video that explains a little bit more about the omnium competition.
The Omnium is made up of 6 events and is contested over 2 consecutive days. The 6 events that make up the Omnium are Scratch Race, Individual Pursuit, the Elimination Race, Time Trial, a Flying Lap, a Points Race. The final standings are established by adding up the finishing places in each of the first 5 events and converting them using a point scale into points. Going into the final event, the points race, each point won during this event is then added to the previous total of points. The rider with the most points at the end of the points race is the winner.
Okay, that was the description. Now here is the action on the track live for you. The riders are not fearing darkness by means of those lights on the bike. It's to indicate to them that when they're out of the competition. So they're flashing at the moment. Once they're all configured, they will stop flashing before the race starts. And then if they start flashing again, it means that you're out. Simple as that. So plenty of means of informing the rider. Our stadium announcer here, Franco Marvulli, will call out the number and the name of the rider who's eliminated. The scoreboard will show her name. The flag representing her nation will be held up by one of our trackside officials. And of course, also the flashing red light on the handlebars will indicate that they have been eliminated. If they don't get it then, well, we have to stop the race action by neutralising it until the offending rider is removed. And the way you are eliminated in the elimination race is by being last across the line on the elimination laps. So eliminations every 2 laps, preceded by a bell on the lap before. We go right down to the last 2 riders who will remain on the track, and they will fight it out for victory. And 40 points for the winner of the elimination race, as with every element of the Omnium competition. Leader at the moment, going into this round of the elimination race for the Omnium, will be looking to add to her score as this race progresses.
Last race, elimination, women, 3rd race of the Omnium.
Just looking down at the competitors here. As they get whistled away by the starter. Lisa Balsamo of Italy was the winner of the scratch race earlier today. They also contested the individual pursuit. Starter just indicating to the riders they need to be all together in one group. There are several little gaps here. So until they're all together, he won't fire the gun. 2 riders at the back here just need to latch on. I think they'll be okay to go this time. Hopefully. Fires the gun to get the race underway. Great Britain have an interest in this race. Their representative is Eleanor Dickinson. Eleanor, a silver medalist in the scratch race at the European Championships last year, and bronze medalist in the team pursuit this year. She's on the front, number 21, but our focus of attention is at the back of the race to see who's going to go first. Last rider across the line will be eliminated. Look like Belarus to me. That's Oksana Saloneva. The red light on the handlebars flashing to indicate that she is out. And she dutifully responds and drops off the rear of the race and will exit from the track. So the USA go that time. United States of America, Summer Moak is eliminated. Next time through, it's the bell. And an exclamation follows that one. Moak has vacated the rear of the race. It's still Ellie Dickinson of Great Britain at the front, but at the back, still the focus of our attention. It looks like the occupation of that position at the moment will be for the rider from Portugal. It was Portugal eliminated that time. Soraya Silva, well, Portugal goes. Danger seat for Franziska Brauser of Germany currently, number 23. Elimination on the line this time. It looks like she will go. Confirmed, yep, it is Brauser of Germany. Poland at the back now. Dickinson of Great Britain's second position. New Zealand are just trying to move around her outside. That's Michaela Drummond. But at the back once more. Oh, that was very close. We'll wait for the verdict on that one. Australia. So the Australian is eliminated. Look at the action replay of that. Well, yep. Just by the slenderest of margins, the back wheel of the Australian rider was last across the line. That was Brooke Tucker. Poland living dangerously once again, along with Denmark. And Australia are eliminated last time. Brooke Tucker. So the Australian successfully removed from the group. Race restarted. So the bell again, and say elimination next time round. New Zealand on the front for Michaela Drummond. Poland, who've been lurking towards the back for quite some time, deciding to move herself forwards. That's Victoria Pekulik. Pekulik rode well a couple of nights ago here, these championships, taking third place in the points race. And it's Colombia who go now. That's Tatiana Duenas of Colombia, eliminated that time. France and Poland once again in the danger zone. Ellie Dickinson has drifted backwards as well for Great Britain. It's going to be Poland, I suspect. Indeed it is. Victoria Pekulik of Poland is eliminated. Point race bronze medalist goes. Dickinson starting to move forward again. And the rider from Ireland there is Cara Dugan. Green and white shoulders. And Well, Dickinson was in the danger seat along with Dugan, and also the rider from Lithuania, and it was the Irish rider Dugan who was eliminated. Look at that one again. It was very close. Dugan at the bottom of the track as we just take you across the line, and the margin was a decisive one. Looking again at the slow-mo, Dickinson just surviving that, along with the Lithuanian Valasaiti. So Ellie Dickinson decided she'd rather have a position rather further forward this time. And it was the Dane eliminated that time. And you can see it, it's the back of the back wheel that counts. And the rider from Denmark has been eliminated. That was Emma Jorgensen. Seven riders remain. We'll take them out right until the last two remain for the final sprint. Canada on the front. There's another look at that one. As Dickinson goes this time. Well, Ellie Dickinson has been loitering around the back of the bunch the last couple of times on the elimination laps, and that time it was her undoing because she lost out. So Dickinson is the latest victim of the elimination race. Down to 6 now. Next elimination on the line this time. That might well have been France. It was confirmed as Clara Caponi. Well, another elimination next time around. Italy in danger at the top of the track. So too was Russian Federation, but it was Lithuania who go. Olivia Valasaiti of Lithuania is next to get the chop. So then there were 4: Canada, Russia, Italy and New Zealand. Rider for the Russian Federation at the front is Maria Novolodskaya. And she is the individual pursuit winner from yesterday. But she's not in this one any longer because Novolodskaya is next to go. So 3 riders remain now. With the Canadian Maggie Coles-Lister just ahead of Lisa Balsamo of Italy and Michaela Drummond of New Zealand. Drummond in 3rd place here. That will mean departure from the race for the Kiwi. So that leaves Canada and Italy in contention here. Maggie Coles-Lister and Elisa Balsamo. Balsamo, the European Omnium champion. Being challenged, though, by Coles-Lister of Canada. Here's the run to the line. Ooh, Canada just got that. So victory in the women's Omnium elimination race for Maggie Coles-Lister of Canada. Gets her 40 points to add to her total to take into the second half of competition tomorrow. 2nd place for Italy and 3rd for New Zealand. Confirmation of that elimination race result and the order in which the riders were eliminated. Of course, the points going from 40 right down the scale, added to those already accrued from the scratch race and the individual pursuit, and taken tomorrow into the second part of the women's Omnium, which will be played out to its conclusion, including the time trial, flying lap, and of course the points race. So there's the winner of the elimination from Canada, Maggie Coles-Lister, just beating her Italian opponent, Elisa Balsamo, at the finish line. So there's the view of the velodrome as we wind up the action for day 4. I do hope you can join us once again tomorrow. 1:45 is the time of start. I'll be joined in the commentary position by none other than Victoria Pendleton. He'll be helping me take you through the action tomorrow, so we're looking forward to Vicky's company here in our commentary box. And we look forward to your company too via the UCI YouTube channel and our live stream from the final day of the UCI 2016 Junior Track Cycling World Championships. Till then, we look forward to your company tomorrow and wish you a very good bye here from the World Cycling Centre in Aigle.